Wouldn't it be great if we could automatically add a new business contact to a mailing list? Hi, this is Eliot from Workload. In this video, we'll be building a workflow starting with a new contact in HubSpot. Then we'll be reformatting that response with our AI formatter by Workload. And finally, we'll be adding that contact to a list in Mailchimp. Let's build a workflow. So we're going to start here at the workload editor, and we're going to name our workflow. So this is going to be HubSpot to Mailchimp. And we're going to pick our trigger by clicking on the trigger box. And that's going to be HubSpot. And our event is going to be a new contact. So whenever we have a new contact created within HubSpot, it will initiate this workflow. So we're going to make sure we're connected to our HubSpot account. And then we're going to test this trigger. And we have a new contact. But I'm noticing that there's an indent here between the first line and the next. And that's often a clue that some of this data is stored within an array. If I click on the raw console button, I can see all this information is inside of the properties array. And in order to be able to put that information into Mailchimp, I'm going to need to reformat that data and pull it out of the array. So I'm going to click continue here on that first step. But then for our second step, I'm going to click on our tools icon. And I'm going to use the AI formatter by Workload. And we're going to format the data. The input data is going to come from inside that trigger. And I'm going to click on properties. That's going to contain all the information we want. And I'm going to tell it, make this array into a separate flat response. I'm going to click continue. I'm going to test this action. And now all that information has been pulled out of that array. It can be easily input into Mailchimp. So I'm going to click continue. I'm going to click the plus button to add a step. I'm going to select Mailchimp. And we're going to add or update a contact on a list. Make sure I'm connected to my Mailchimp account. Now, when I look at all the fields I need to fill out in order to create or update a contact in Mailchimp, we have phone number, we have address, we have birthday in this specific month and day format, first and last name, and then we have which mailing list we want to sign them up for and what the status is going to be of that person on the mailing list. In order for us to have HubSpot communicate with Mailchimp, we need to have the same fields available. If you look at HubSpot, I've set up these columns in order to match Mailchimp. So if you don't have the address and the date of birth and the phone number as options on your contacts in HubSpot, then you won't have that information available to be put into Mailchimp. So there has to already be a little bit of a setup here done on HubSpot for it to correspond to Mailchimp. But since I have the correct fields, then I can fill them all out simply. So our audience is going to be the mailing list we want to add our contact to, which is Workload. The email.contact, I'm going to pull from that formatted step 2. The status is I'm going to mark all of these contacts as subscribed to this mailing list. First name, Vel. Last name, Vita. Birthday, address. So it wants the street address first. And the city, state, and the zip code. phone number. And then it wants you to put the email address again if you're creating a new contact. So I'll click continue. I'm going to test that action. We have a success. So I can come down and click continue in the bottom here. I can look over at MailChimp and reload my contacts. And now we have Miss Velveeta is added to our contacts with all that information. So our workflow is working. All of our steps have a green dot, so our setup is complete. So I can activate my workflow. And now every time I have a new contact in HubSpot, it will format that data and add them as a contact in MailChimp. That's how you can automatically add a new contact from HubSpot onto a mailing list in MailChimp. Please like and subscribe this video to get more content from Workload about how to make your business practices flow more smoothly. And I'll see you next time.